This episode of The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast Extra Take, is sponsored by, well, of course, you. We want to thank all of you patrons over at patreon.com/expat2020. Without your support, none of this would be possible. Now, on with the show. Hey, everybody, and all of our patrons. Welcome to The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, special bonus series, Extra Take. I'm your host, Expat, along with my two co-hosts of The Arena. So, Dan, how you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing? Hey, Burley. Good to see you.
Doing good, man. Awesome. And Burley, how are you, man?
I'm good. Happy to see and chat with both of you.
Awesome. Okay, so let's jump right into it, man. So as you guys, we've talked about this a zillion times already about what games and everything went down at E3 and all, but the conferences as a whole, I mean, it was pretty much kind of like a shit show, actually. Unfortunately, there were some conferences there that really shouldn't have even took place, like Square and Capcom and some of the others. Anyway, this show is about the state of E3. I mean, where we're at now, and like with the ESA and all. I mean, is E3 dead after this year? What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, this E3 wasn't an E3. It was just a collection of adverts strung together. I mean, the whole point. I mean, this conclusively proved that E3 as an online only thing doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
The whole point of E3 is to go there, mingle, live the hype, feel the hype in the room. I mean, just watching a series of generic CG cutscenes. I'm too old for that shit. I'm utterly immune to it. I don't get excited by a trailer I could have made in Blender myself. So, hopefully next year it will be an E3. And again, I'll still have the same contempt for it. But unless you're there, you're not going to get the buzz. I don't think.
Burley, how about you?
I agree on with Dan. You're not really going to get the buzz unless you're actually in the room getting those reveals, and then talking with the developers and all that, and with their little booths and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in this modern age, with the way states of gaming is, E3 is kind of irrelevant, because if you want to make a splash, you can all these companies can easily just throw their trailer online, throw your demo online, or you just say, we're going to do a live stream showing you the first hour of Halo Infinite or whatever game, showing you, and then getting talk from the developer and all that.
Yeah, I mean, little by little, a lot of some of these companies have been jumping ship from the ESA. I mean, a long time ago, what was it, Dan? Probably Rockstar was one of the first, right? To jump ship and get out of E3. And of course, Sony, Sony's never going to come back probably now. Sony's done. I mean, especially after what's gone on this year. I don't think we'll ever see PlayStation there again. So I don't know. A lot of people though now are talking about the Summer Game Fest and that type of format as being the way forward for an E3 style of event. What do you guys think?
You're up, Burley.
Okay, I'll go. Summer Game Fest kind of style could work, but it all just kind of depends. If we're just gonna keep getting the same CG trailer, 4 games, and get no actual gameplay and getting nothing from the developers, then I don't know if it really would work. Because then why would I wait for this event when I can have very little competition? Just throw a trailer out in the middle of May, for example, and have people talking then.
Good point. How would you define the format of the Summer Games Fest, whatever it's called? I mean, how did it differ from say any of the things we saw in E3 proper?
I'd say it's more akin to the Game Awards in December. I mean, just more of that in the summertime, actually.
Right, so it's single host led,
Right.
assorted developers come on, talk a bit, and then go home again.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think Jeff Keighley, he does know how to put on a show. I mean, especially with the Game Awards and all, and with the Summer Game Fest now. So I'm thinking, that's where I would want to see E3 go in the future. I mean, when you start to see more of these companies see all the stats and of what's going on with these other companies jumping ship and going over. I mean, there were some good presentations and there were some good reveals. Of course, we got the Elden Ring at the end of the Game Awards, so maybe they're going to start. The others will start jumping ship and going over to Summer Game Fest as well. Um, I think Keeley, he's probably one of the best out there when it comes to presenters for games. So I think that's a good possibility. Yeah,
it's feasible.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's. I mean, the talk of Sony and stuff, it just seems. I don't know why everyone doesn't have. I don't know why everyone just doesn't have their own separate little thing. Like when they do, like Sony has state of play and stuff, and one just issue E3 together while we sort this virtual format, and just have everyone has their own showcase whenever they feel like it.
Yeah, I think the thing about that though is, I mean, like with this E3, I mean, you had like it strung out over a whole week. You had this conference and then this conference and then so like condense it down into one full day or something like that.
Or maybe that, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. Unless you're demented, I mean, you wouldn't want to watch the entirety of E3 because, like, I mean, not everything's for everyone. I mean, like like Burley, for example, was really hyped for the Square Enix stuff, although it let him down ultimately. It would be a very brave soul that wants to watch every single piece of media that comes out of freaking E3, right? So, I mean, again, having it all put in one place only helps them organizing it, really. But I mean, the Sony fans will want to watch a Sony thing, so that makes that irrelevant whenever they have it in the year. Xbox will want to watch the Xbox show, so again, that's irrelevant whenever that happens out through the year. So,
I
don't know.
And as you were mentioning, Dan, about PlayStation, they used to have that PlayStation experience, right, at the end of the year. That was like a big get together of all PlayStation fans, and
October
they could demo.
Time, wasn't it?
Yeah,
something like that. Those I remember those. Those were cool.
Yeah. But I mean, they're at TGS, right? So they'll be rolling out the big guns for TGS because they always have a bloody good show and a colossal stage for TGS.
Yeah.
So although that'll be interesting to see what happens because that's only a couple of months, 3 months away or so.
Yeah, in September.
And there's no effing way because we've been to TGS.
Yes.
There's no effing way they're having a TGS this year.
No way. No.
You're not getting 120,000 people in one building.
Right.
No. So.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Dan and I, we remember Burley going into TGS, and it's like 100,000 plus people just shoulder to shoulder trying to move around and
It's a miserable
trying to
affair.
demo a game. It's like it was impossible. What was it, Dan? Like 4 or 5 hours standing in line
Yeah,
just to try to play
yeah,
something. It was ridiculous. Yeah.
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 It's pretty bad, but yeah. I think I went one more time after I went with you, and it was just equal. No, I swore I'd never go back again. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it is interesting. But yeah, I mean, Sony goes all out. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure they'll have some reveals for then. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like I said, this has revealed that the video format for E3 is tedious and nonsensical.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I guess they had to do it because they have to keep the brand alive. Keep, we're still here. We're still doing E3, albeit virtually.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, I think
no.
like one of the only things that are kind of keeping E3 as well is because there are people that I do know that are gamers that won't go
Mm.
check out, every Nintendo Direct, Sony State of Play, or just when Sony drops trailers because they know, okay, whatever's coming this holiday, you're gonna get it that
Mm.
E3 week because all the
Mm.
companies are just gonna dump then. So
Yeah.
there still is value there. I think E3 is not gonna stay for another few. I think it'll stick for a few years, but I don't think it's going to stay too much longer.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe. Just make it press. Well, no, don't make it press only. That's a bad idea. But again, like, if you're like me and you don't, I mean, to be honest, the current game I've got only a passing interest in. Like for me, the best thing about E3 is the next day we just look on the Twitter feeds and see, oh, this game, this game, this. So you get 2 hours worth of chat distilled into a handful of tweets, which is an absolute blessing because
Yeah.
there's a lot of guff
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah. Do you think the ESA will change their format style at all, or is it going to stay the same?
I don't
I
know.
I, I don't think they're going to change. I think they're more set in their ways. They will
Mm-hmm.
ride it out till they see the numbers drop drastically, and then go,
Yeah.
"Oh shit, we need to change it." One
Yeah.
thing I would like, as I stated earlier on a previous episode of the podcast, is
Mm-hmm.
Square did this. They failed, but they did do it. Is they showed you something and then they gave you the demo after the conference. Square's demo didn't work for about a day, but I want more of that because you know what? Not
Mm-hmm.
everyone can go to E3 and all that and play
Mm,
these demos.
Yeah.
Why not give you? I know there's the things of getting them hacked and all that, but you know what? Get the buzz, get to people that actually can play, even if it's only like an hour long demo or whatever it is. Get them to
Mm-hmm.
play it, and then you're getting those day one pre orders and all that.
Yeah.
it's weird. Yeah, usually someone, at least one of them, has one thing. Oh, and at the end of this presentation, it goes live. There's nearly always something like that. And was there, I don't think there was anything this year, was there?
Except for Nintendo, I think the Treehouse. That was one of the only ones, right, Dan? The Treehouse Live, right
Yeah,
after the
yeah, but then
Direct. Yeah.
but then did they have any games go live to buy? Like at the end of that,
Yeah. Yeah.
because that's happened a few times in the past. Where they've gone, oh, and guess what? If you like this game, you can buy it right now. And they just had like a stealth launch during the presentation, which
Mm-hmm.
is it's a bloody good idea. It's a bloody good way to sell something because the hype's up, and it's like, oh, brilliant! I'll just get that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Dan, I
Hey,
think I know the answer to this, but I mean, as a retro gamer, I mean, is there any relevance to E3 anymore? I mean, what can a retro gamer look forward to when it comes to E3?
you've got to look to the indies primarily. I mean, there were Metroidvania games presented. There were classic 2.5D scrolling in the style of Mega Man presented. So that's where you got to look.
Mm,
Fundamentally, it's the indies and the smaller stuff.
mm,
Unfortunately, things like they do get announced, like compendiums get announced. Like they'll announce, oh, we're releasing. I mean, it's amazing. We still haven't had the announcement that there's a Metal Gear Solid compendium coming out, which is inevitable.
right.
Um,
Mm,
there's rumblings of a Castlevania collection of all the Game Boy Advance games that wasn't mentioned. So usually that would be a
That
good place for all these compendiums to be announced. So
mm.
yeah, so for me, yeah, pretty much that's it.
Burley, you were going to add something to that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was sorry. The Castlevania one, it's been actually leaked because of it's being getting rated by
Yeah,
the
we got rated in
ESRB
Australia, right?
in Australia. Yeah,
Yeah,
good old Australia.
and those games are friggin' excellent. They are excellent, excellent Castlevania games. So I'm looking forward. I mean, they've already got my money.
Yeah.
But for other stuff for retro that they are doing, like you do have the Summer Game Fest that does a little of that, and then there is that one E3 conference. It was like an hour. I think it was hour and a half. It was a hodgepodge of a bunch of different companies. You had Sega and a bunch of indies show
Oh,
off
really?
stuff. You did get it. It's just there's nothing like overly hype about it, so you don't get
It,
as much attention. And then you always do have what are they called? Limited run. They always do a
oh
small
yeah,
thing. So you're gonna get your retro stuff, like your special,
yeah.
because they've done like the Castlevania cartridges lately and a few other things.
Turok, all sorts. Yeah.
Hmm.
Trouble is, so, like you just mentioned that, I had no idea because it just doesn't get the press. The press is all devoted to Xbox is going to show this, Capcom's going to show this, Square's going to show this. There's some other stuff we ain't going to mention it. So I had no idea that existed. So I'm going to go back and chase up now because yeah, the only indie stuff I got was tacked onto the end of the big reveals by the big companies. Oh, by the way, we got some little indie stuff coming up, but Halo, it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, where is it like Dan at TGS? I mean, it's like very indie focused, as well.
They've
So.
got the
Yeah.
last time I went, they had a whole annex. They had a whole
Yeah.
separate conference hall devoted to
Right.
indie stuff, which is
Right.
really cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good on them.
Burley, this one's for you. For streaming, I think there were a lot of problems with trying to co-stream the events this year. So,
Yeah.
where do you see E3 in the future when it comes to live streaming, like with Twitch?
Hopefully they'll get better with it. Like I'll give them a little credit because this was the first major year that they're doing this. So, but as you and I noticed, and we were trying, I was because I was in Canada and you're in Japan. I had a good 10 seconds or whatever the number was ahead of you. So I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, this," but I can't say nothing because Expat
Yeah.
hasn't seen. So it made
Yeah, I
it
think it was the
difficult
same
for
for
everybody.
Dan too, with Nintendo as well. I think
He's a
he
weird
had,
lad.
he had the lag issues, but I mean, it was affecting me more. I think so. Yeah,
What was
I don't
some of
know.
the? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Dan.
No, I want some more clarification. What were some of these streaming issues then? Because I know Nintendo had that weird message about don't co-stream, which is bizarre. But what
Well,
what what?
that was what I was referring to, the
Uh,
co-streaming, and yeah, having to do all the app applying and stuff like that, and there were issues with that. So,
like, why can't Nintendo get with the 1990s? Like, it does. That's not how the internet friggin' works.
yeah,
We don't owe you permission.
yeah,
It's
Yeah,
not. That's not how it works.
yeah.
Nintendo, I don't get because I know from when I used to make YouTube content, they are the worst out of all the companies.
Yeah.
If you're making content to help sell their stuff, they won't help
Yeah.
you. They will hurt you more than anything.
They will fine you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is
50% of your
ridiculous.
stream revenue.
It was ridiculous. I forget what the one. It was a story expat we had on the podcast a while back, where shoot, there's this one guy doing it was stuff he was doing it, and it was I think it was like for charity and stuff, and Nintendo screwed
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
I just can't remember if it was something to do with controllers or something like that, and they went stupid, and it was like, why?
It's just this reactionary paranoia that they have about making somebody else is going to make money where they can't, and so they have to shut everything down. I mean, that's pretty much where it is with Nintendo.
But Sony
on that avenue. But
Sony's a Japanese company and is nowhere near as bad at it. They'll step in on a few times, and sometimes they should. But
But they're the cool new edgy kids in the video game world, so that they can do that stuff.
yeah.
It is bonkers. I mean, but then it ultimately bit them in the ass because like all the massive streamers went fuck Nintendo then.
No.
So all these, these people who get millions of views, they just went, well, we're not going to talk about your shit games anymore.
No.
So, and it was relegated to the little simp weakling YouTubers who go, yes, yes, Nintendo, yes. Here's half of my ad revenue for literally no reason.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that the whole Nintendo Creator Program. They're
The
like, oh,
partnership thing,
you sign up with us. We take like it was either half or like 60% of your shit, and it's like
It was something. It was
what
far more. Yeah.
it was like. You got to be kidding me! And I remember because I think Sony did a tweet, or it was either Sony or Microsoft did a tweet and says, "Join our program. We don't touch nothing. Just have
Yeah.
fun." It was
Yeah.
like,
It just
wow.
proves just don't get it. Just fundamentally don't understand how the internet works, how social media works. Just absolute lunacy. But thankfully, they're shit can that now, so hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. But
Yeah.
blimey.
Well, we shall see where E3 goes. Yeah, I guess it could only go up after this year. I don't know, man. But like we were saying, I think it's probably moving towards a type of summer game fest type of situation. I think where Keeley's going to probably start taking over a lot of this stuff, and he's going to have the big summer game fest, which will be like the new E3, and then of
Possibly.
course the Game Awards at the end of the year. So we shall see.
Mm.
But anyway, that's our feelings toward E3 and the state of E3 and where it might be going in the future. So Burley, I saw earlier before we started recording, you had something there that you might want to show our patrons.
Oh yeah, this is something something the Microsoft event made me purchase when the thing wants to get out of the damn box. Bought myself a little Series S because here in Canada you can actually get these, and they had a great little promotion. You get 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate, and since you can
Awesome.
legally install RetroArch, you just have to spend $20 on a dev license. So it's like I've got a Game
Wow.
Pass machine because I don't.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of Microsoft games I'd like to play that are on Game Pass, but I don't want to. I'm not buying these games full price. All that, just pay the Game Pass license fee and go ahead.
Cool.
Well done.
And Dan, you said you were getting some more Densha de Go stuff, right?
Yeah. I'm building up my collection. It's in Japan right now, but it'll be here before long. Yeah, gonna fill out my collection of DDG. Love me the DDG.
Awesome. And so, what are you guys going to be playing and streaming in the next day or two? Burley, what are you going to be playing, streaming?
Streaming, I actually picked up the first Mario Rabbids game because it was really cheap. I wanna try that out. So Monday I'm gonna go to that, try that out, see how that goes.
Cool. Dan, how about you?
So the other day I got in the post order from Amazon Japan. I got a Densha to Go plug and play. So it's a self-contained in the controller, the train controller. It has a game inside it. So I'm probably gonna play that over the weekend to make a video about it. And
Awesome.
Yeah, maybe get us started on Jurassic World Evolution, Jurassic Park Evolution. One combination of words like that. Yeah, cool. the park management sim. So that looks quite fun.
Awesome.
Need to put some time in.
Yeah,
what about you? What are you playing?
I'm still on Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I was playing a little bit last night as well, so I'm gonna continue to play that, and I'm gonna try to get back to Xbox and finish the Wrath of the Druids DLC that I was working on earlier, and then I'll be looking forward to the Paris DLC when that drops. But yeah, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. It's awesome. It's a beautiful game. I'm looking forward to Dan, you getting a chance to play it when you get your PS5. But yeah, man, it's a super game. It's basically a Pixar game. That's how good it is. It's beautiful. And just going through those riffs and everything. That, like Burley was saying in the first episode of Extra Take when we did our spoiler-free discussion of Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, that SSD, it really uses the power of the SSD in that game. just going through those riffs, boom, 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 boom. It's really, really pretty. I'm
Well, you
enjoying
nice.
it. So, yeah, Burley, you were saying?
that game uses that SSD, use those adaptive triggers. It's just
Yeah.
like I cannot wait. After Insomniac did with that, it's like okay, whatever you got Insomniac with Spider-Man 2 and other games,
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
Yeah. Spider-Man 2 is gonna look really special, I think. So I'm looking forward to that. It's gonna be fun to play. So, and I'm still gonna play Miles Morales when I get done with Rift Apart. So
Oh yeah.
looking forward to that. So, but Miles Morales is more of a cross-gen, whereas
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2, man, that's gonna be, I think PS5 only. We shall see, but yeah. Okay, so that wraps it up for episode 2 of the Arena Multiplatform Gaming News Podcast Extra Take here exclusively for patrons. So take care, and Dan and Burley have a great weekend, gaming weekend, and we shall see you in the next one, all you patrons. So take care. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.